Travel isn't just about destinations, it's about the people you meet, the cultures you immerse yourself in, the stories you carry home. I'm Relebogile Mabocha, and on my travel feature, I take you on a journey beyond the guidebook. Each week, I connect with fellow travelers, insiders, and storytellers to bring you the heart of every place. Whether it's a hidden gem right here in South Africa or a dream destination abroad. Join me as we travel through conversations, memories, and inspiration. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Now, in our travel and tourism segment today, we want to put the focus on a harvest festival, which is happening next weekend out in Franschhoek. We are heading into that time of year where a number of the local farms celebrate the season's bounty in some way or another. But the way Solms-Delta does it is particularly special. The Oesfees is back. It was back last year after a long break, and what a relief to see it back on the calendar again this year with a great lineup of music and, of course, all of the activities that harvest festivals are loved for. And it's a pleasure to have back on the show to tell us more about it, the farm's owner, Professor Mark Solms. Mark, it's been a long time since we chatted. Lovely to have you on the show again. Welcome back.
Thank you. It has been a long time, and during that time I've got older, but you sound exactly the same.
Trust me, if you were in studio, you'd see the markers of age on my face as well, for the record, Mark. But thanks for the compliment. It's been a long and historic time. I mean, this farm has been through so much. It's seen so much change over the years. It's tried things. It's tried different approaches. You, I believe, have a new investor who came on board since the last Oesfees is happening. Give us a bit of a sense of what's happening at Solms-Delta these days.
Well, first of all, it's a very old farm. When you say a lot has happened over the years, let's remember it was established in 1690.
Yeah.
So, but you're talking about recent years. I came back to South Africa in 2001 and took over custodianship of the farm. And I came back. I'd been living in England, and I was homesick. And the reason I was in England was, the reason why everybody left those days. I left in the 80s.
Yeah.
And, all the reasons that I left had been reversed. So, I was just thrilled to come back to a new South Africa and to try to play my part in what we were then calling the reconstruction and development of the country.
Yeah.
So I aligned this farm, Solms-Delta, very much with the vision of our then leadership, trying to build a much more equitable society, a non-racial society, and trying to tackle, the farms are really where you see it, the inequalities between the owner of a wine farm and the workers, the tenant workers who live on the farm is just terrible. So we tried to deal with all of that. I think we tried perhaps a little bit too hard in the sense that it became it wasn't as much a business as it was a social enterprise, and so financially we didn't do that well, which is why it's so important that we now have this investor. And I have to say, every cloud has a silver lining. I must be careful what I say because of what happened to our ambassador in America. But really, the cloud, I won't name him, but he's the president of the United States. And the silver lining is the fact that our investor, who's an African American, he just had enough of the way things are going in America. So he decided he wants to disinvest from America and invest here. And so we're the beneficiaries of that. So we have a new investor. In fact, since he joined us, he put in his investment starting in November 23 already.
Okay.
And that's why we had the Oesfees again in 24. And so this is the second Oesfees since our kind of rising from the ashes.
Now, I mean, the name says it all for those who don't speak Afrikaans. Oes is the harvest, so the Oesfees is the harvest festival, and it is a celebration of the bounty of that year's festival. But Mark, it's always a celebration of much more than that. It is really, I know, on your farm, a celebration of the vision that you had coming back in, of creating a place where that farm was really a place where everybody could thrive. Tell us a little bit more about the vision of what you see the Oesfees representing to Solms-Delta.
Yeah. Well, I must say, first of all, that vision of, we used to call it a rainbow nation. Nobody seems to believe in a rainbow nation anymore, but I'll tell you, on this farm, we still do. Mm-hmm. So that's the vision. It's a vision, the original vision of what we were trying to create in South Africa. South Africa where, there's something in it for all of us, and we're all in the same boat. We're all rowing in the same direction. We're all on the same side. And it's sadly, still now, 2025, it's a rarity to have the kind of thing that our Oesfees, the Harvest Festival, stands for. It's first of all a thank you for the harvest. It's bloody hard work to harvest grapes in the baking heat. Especially this year, it's been terrible. So it's thanking the farm workers for the harvest. Not only the farm workers on our own farm, but the farm workers on all the farms around here. So it's a thank you to the working people on the farms and the farm owners together. And this is what I mean by it being unfortunate that it's a rarity, is that on the, Franschhoek is in the Boerland. Some people might think that Franschhoek is in France, but it's in the Boerland. And, there's no such event as we have at the Oesfees, where everybody comes together celebrating our common culture, our music, and by music I mean our music. This is Cape music and South African music and our cuisine. We have lekker South African and Kaapse kos, and we all dance together and we all get along like a house on fire. It's a sort of outstanding event in the Boerland calendar. It's the one time we all party together. We all, recognize our common heritage, our common goal, and our common humanity. It's just a really wonderfully uplifting experience. And the music, when I say that we're talking about Cape music and South African music, it also reflects that ethos in that we've got big stars playing, like Emo Adams and Chris Kombees and Fraser Barry and people like this. And then we have completely unknown people who've been found in the Platteland. Well, one of them, was found in the Platteland, but he's now a star in his own right. That's Hannes Kutsia, the guy who plays the slide guitar with his spoon in his mouth. He was discovered, as it were, by David Kramer. But a whole lot of similar talent from the back end of Beyond, incredible musical talent that has been identified for us partly by the ATKV, the Afrikaanse Taal en Kultuurvereniging, the Afrikaans cultural body, and that's also an important thing that they sponsor our Oesfees, because they recognize that also through the Afrikaans language, which, as you know, as you can hear, is not my language, but still it's the language that unites that terrible divide that we had all those years ago. It's the language of the Boerland, it's the language of farm workers, it's the language of farm owners. So the Afrikaanse Taal en Kultuurvereniging has been scouting for talent, and this is what we're going to display, and also something called Agri's Got Talent, which is a competition for among farm people it's like a kind of talent competition. So the winners of that will be here, plus our own bands from our own farm. So our own farm workers, they've got a wonderful choir called Die Soetsstemme, which means the sweet voices, and we've also got the Optel band, the Solms-Delta Oesfees band. So it's these big stars like Emo Adams and Chris Kombees, and then these gems, some of them hidden, about to be discovered, and some of them no longer so hidden, like Hannes Kutsia.
And I'm going to give a mention to Luna Page, who we had in our music segment not too long ago. So if listeners enjoyed her sound that we shared with you that day, please just take note that you can hear more of her work at the Oesfees. Now, it's next Saturday, the 29th of March. Mark, let's just talk about a few of the logistics in terms of getting there, parking, ticketing, etc. What do listeners need to know if they'd like to attend the event? Well,
firstly, the word or the term next Saturday means different things to different people. So to me, next Saturday is coming up this week. So it's not this week, it's the 29th. In other words, not the forthcoming Saturday, but the Saturday after that. The tickets are available online, either from solms-delta.com or plankton.mobi. Plankton with a K, .mobi. And they're 200 Rand per person unless you're 12 and under, in which case you come in for free if you're accompanied by your parents. The farm is located in the wine appellation of Franschhoek, but it's not in the village of Franschhoek. It's kind of halfway between Franschhoek and Paarl and Stellenbosch. It's sort of in between the three of them, very near to Boschendal on the R45. And there's plenty of parking on site. So it's all very well run. We've been doing this for many, many years, although we had that interregnum. So, there'll be good security guards and guides and directing people as to where they should park and all of that. And the actual event is under these old oak trees overlooking the vineyards next to the old original wine cellar, this old Cape Dutch building. It's just a beautiful setting and a wonderful atmosphere. I want to say one more thing about the musicians. Ema Adams has played at the Oesfees in years past, and but forgive me, it's embarrassing. I didn't even know who Ema Adams was the first time that he came here. And when he performed, I thought, oh my God, this guy is just absolutely, it's like Elvis speaking Afrikaans, Yeah.
Thanks for that mention. So Emo Adams, Koos Kombuis, Valiant Swart, the big headline names, but it's worth going as much for the smaller, not quite yet discovered on that level artists who are going to be the big names of the future that you get to see at Oesfees this year. Mark Solms, always lovely to chat to you, and it's wonderful to hear the good news of the sort of infusion of new investment and new energy into the farm. We hope it's going to be a fantastic celebration that brings people out from every nook and cranny of not just your valley, but all the way to Cape Town. Thanks for making time to chat to us today.
Thank you very much.
Professor Mark Solms, owner of Solms-Delta and the Oesfees, once again, Saturday the 29th of March. The gates will open at 10 a.m. Go and make a day of it and enjoy the celebrations in this beautiful part of the world. Once again, your booking platform is plankton.mobi. So how about that? We've had two interviews back-to-back where the booking platform is plankton.mobi, and we've gone from Britain's Got Talent to Agri's Got Talent. And if you want to check out the next, perhaps, Innocent Masuku, go and visit Oesfees at Solms-Delta Farm next weekend. I call it this Saturday and next Saturday for the record. So this Saturday is the 22nd. Oesfees is happening next Saturday, the 29th of March, with the gates opening at 10 a.m.